Hey guys, how's it going? Today I want to do a review for you guys on what I think is by far the best robot vac out there right now. It's by Xiaomi and it's called the Roborock S5 or the S50. If you see either of them, it's the same exact model. One's the European, one's the North American model. The S5 is the American model, S50 is the European model, and this is the V2 or version 2. I want to talk a little bit about why I feel it completely stomps all over the Roomba 980, which is Roomba's top of the line model. And there's absolutely no reason to buy the Roomba anymore. It costs way more money and it's not as good. Now, I should clarify too before I start that I have no affiliation with Xiaomi or Roomba. I'm not getting paid to advertise. This is based purely on my own personal experience with each device. So that being said, let's talk about this a little bit more. First thing, and probably the big thing, is the price difference. Now, I should mention I did get a pretty good deal on the Xiaomi Roborock. And I'll put a link in the description below so you guys can check that deal out if you want. But even still, this vacuum cleaner goes for, right around $500-600, like right around $600, the MSRP. Whereas the Roomba 980 goes for an MSRP of $900. Now, granted, they've dropped the price of it lately, I think probably trying to compete with this actual device, but still, it's usually around $750 to $800. So right off the bat, the Roborock is much cheaper than the Roomba. Now, that's all fine and dandy, but it actually works a lot better than the Roomba. And when it's cheaper and it works better, it's kind of a no-brainer. Now, what I like most about the Roborock is the way it cleans your house. The mapping on it works so much better than any kind of mapping I've ever seen before. It has a really good app too. Xiaomi's app works really well. It's super easy to set up, but it has like this laser sensor on the top. And the way it works is it maps in real time as it goes, which is kind of one of the first robot vacuums to do this. Now, there are other ones have done it before, but they haven't worked as good. This is by far the best mapping I've ever seen on a robot vac. It makes a very accurate map of your house, and it absolutely cleans everywhere that it possibly can. This thing literally will go around a very small table leg and make a circle around it. If it's able to fit into an area, it will clean it. The other thing I like about it too is the suction. This has very strong suction, and you can change the suction too on it inside the app based on usually the size of your house. I have mine set to full, which is max. There's a normal, there's a turbo, and then there's a max. And the max is the maximum suction, obviously. But when you set it to max, which I have it set on, it will do my entire house in one charge. Now, I have about a 1,750 square foot home, and I let it do the entire house all at once. It takes about an hour and 20 minutes to do the entire house, and it's about at 20 to 25% battery when it's done cleaning. So it will do a lot of cleaning in one charge cycle. Now, if you do have a bigger house than that, it will go back, it'll know where it left off, and you can track its every movement inside the app. But it knows where it left off, and it'll go charge itself, and it'll go exactly right back to the spot where it left off and continue going. The other thing I really like about this one too is that it makes super straight like lines in your carpet. It looks like you had like probably the most talented vacuumist, if that's even a word, come and vacuum your carpet. It's just a nice look. I had an older robot vacuum. It was a D-Bot, and it was just the random one. And this is like so much better to have one of these than a randomized one. For one, it gets done way quicker. The D-Bot would take, an hour and a half to do one room thoroughly, just because it would just and there'd be random lines going all over your carpet. It just doesn't look nice. This gets the job done so much quicker. Like I said, it'll do my entire house in an hour and 20 minutes instead of a single room in an hour and 20 minutes. Think about that for a minute. That's a big deal. Other than that, too, it cleans much better. I get a lot more dust in the bin than I used to with my older one. And I got a lot more dust too compared to the Roomba 980 as well. So it does clean better than the Roomba 980 as well. One thing to mention too, if you're not familiar with Xiaomi, they're a Chinese company, but they have this nickname, they call them the Apple of China, meaning Apple computers like we have here in the States. They're a company that really makes very good quality products. So don't let the fact that it's a Chinese brand put you off. First of all, everything's made in China. Roombas are made in China. If it's electronic, it's either made in China or 95% of its parts are made in China. So you can't really give the argument anymore that, oh, it's made in China, it's no good. China has changed a little bit. I don't want to get into the whole this thing, but they still they do make good products over there. You just have to get the right products from China. Now, Xiaomi make tons and tons of stuff. They're known kind of for their smartphones and their electronics, but these new Roborock S5, especially the version 2, the version 1 they don't make anymore. It didn't sense as good as this one does. They had a few problems with the version 1. They've completely fixed everything, and this is by far the best robot vacuum on the market right now. They up the battery, they up the sensors. Another thing that's nice about this thing too is it knows you can do just one room if you want to. Like before, if I wanted to do one room, I had to go pick up my vacuum, put it in that room, and either close the doors or barricade the thing off. With this one, you go right on the app. Here's the map of your home. It's right there. You can just draw a little square around the room that you want it to do and hit go. And it will automatically go. It finds the path of least resistance right through your home. I mean, literally, this thing goes under table legs, like right through them, because that's the shortest route to get there. I gotta hand it to whoever programmed the artificial intelligence, or I don't know, I guess it's not artificial intelligence, but whoever programmed the sensing and stuff on this, props to that dude. It works unbelievably well, shockingly well. I didn't think it would work so well as it does. This is one of those things, if you've never had a robot vacuum before, you're absolutely in for a treat. Think about never having to vacuum your house again, ever again in your life. That you just push a button and your whole house is done in an hour and a half with perfectly straight carpet lines throughout your entire home. It's a game changer, and the reason is because they've never had a robot vacuum this good for this cheap. The Roombas were kind of the first one to do the automatic mapping, but to get that you needed to spend $1,000 plus, $1,200 for their top of the line one. This works better than those ones did, and it's literally over half the price. It's a big deal because these things have really come down in price. And anyway, this video is getting a little bit long now, but it works unbelievably well. I couldn't be more happy with this thing. This is like one of those, this would be like my purchase of the decade. If this thing broke or got lost or stolen or something like this, I would happily pay $1,000 for another one of those things, and I would replace it tomorrow. But luckily, you don't have to, because they're not even close to that price. So anyway, every house in America, in my opinion, should have one of these things, and this is the one to get. Anyway, if you guys have any more questions about it or anything that maybe I forgot or left out, I didn't talk much about the mopping feature because I've never used it. I don't really mop. It goes over. I have tile and it goes over it and it sweeps it and cleans it. I've never felt the need to mop it, but I've heard it works very, very well. But to summarize, excellent app, the best mapping out of any robot vacuum I've ever used or tried or seen. And on top of that all, half the price of its nearest competitor, which it vacuums better than. So it's kind of a no-brainer in my opinion if you're looking for a robot vacuum. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it for hanging in there this long. Like I said, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them for you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.